Hey everybody, GravyTrain here. Another episode of GravyTraining. This episode is Hero Spotlight number 27. We're going to go over all the Ogres. This episode is brought to you in part by 30-Day Gems. When you save one account, it's as if you saved the entire game. So, so Ogres. We recently got the Hero Jumbo, and I've already done a spotlight on him. I'm going to include him as part of this just because there's tie-ins. And the teams that we'll end up using will probably end up having like Lily on them and stuff like that too. We'll have to see. But let's go through these heroes. So we'll start with Vemas. So first of all, he's a monster and an ogre and a warrior. So he can get synergies with both monsters and ogres. I have him runed as a mix of offense and defense. So I've got a hero rune for some attack, damage pen. Got a tank rune for tank stuff. I've got an unbreakable heart for defense and unbreakable heart. I've got, and I should probably, no, I guess the lighting's fine. I've got a Guardian rune here, and I threw a Warrior rune on there for more attack and chance for extra hits. So, let's look at his passive. The stats, he's obviously going to end up being more defensive. The attack isn't terrible, the health is like, meh. So he is armored, takes less damage from physical attacks. Turn a blind eye. He is immune to taunt and provoke. He can attack whoever he wants to. Pardon me, it's a little bit late, so Iron Ogre reduces the attack of melee attackers after being hit. Brute Strength. Ogre and monster allies gain 20% damage penetration. That's not bad. And he is immune to fear and has a chance to fear beasts on an attack. So, not terrible. Not great, but not terrible. I'm sorry, I'm yawning. I was hoping I would be able to not do that during this, but anyhow. He does not have an epic. So his basic attack is just basic. Earthquake. His first ability. It's an undodgeable, which is kind of nice, ranged physical attack for 40-11 base damage with splash damage to all other enemies. Enemies hit become off-balanced, decreased attack, and attacks are more likely to be dodged. So that could actually synergize fairly well with Arya too, but that's a different thought. Second ability is Demolishing Smash. The first one takes 5 energy. This one takes 4 energy. The other one takes 4 energy. So Demolishing Smash is an armor-piercing, shield-piercing, melee physical attack for 3008 base damage that wounds, which means they take damage every round, and they cannot be healed, and it starts powered. That's not bad. That's not bad at all. The damage could be a little bit higher. If I was focusing him more on attack, it would be. And finally, melee physical attack on 3 random enemies for 50-14 base damage. Could hit any enemy, so that has the potential to be pretty high, especially when he's going to get an attack boost if he's on a team with Jumbo. So we'll see how that actually works out. The only downside to a hero like this is he will be able to be frozen unless we brought Igorok. So, and that is a possibility. He would stop Vemas from being frozen. We'll have to see if that ends up panning out. Sorry, I'm definitely tired. I should have done this another time, but whatever. So that's Vemas. Grognog. So, I mean, I've never disliked Grognog, but I was never all that impressed with him. But since the update, I have really started to like Grognog. So, first of all, he's a beast ogre warrior. Seems like all of the ogres are two things. They're like an ogre and a monster, an ogre and a beast, an ogre and a plant. Um, and then Kosar is like an ogre and a goblin. So they're all two things, but he's a beast ogre warrior. He is legendary. So I have him runed. I actually put 2 of the attack unbreakable hearts on him because I just have him maxed out for offense. Then I've got an elite hero rune for offense, elite warrior rune. It was that, or I could have gone shield piercing, although I'm not really fond of that health. Or I could have gone with, if I've got one, one of the new or the older hero runes or healer runes. Can't do that one. Anywho, I figured we'll just go with defense here. I might actually, you know what, I am going to. Since we're going defense, I'm going to go ahead and put a guardian him, because that'll give him that much more survivability. And then the last rune is a warrior rune for attack and chance for an extra attack. So his stats actually pretty good. With just one defensive rune, he's at 16,000 defense. So that's not bad. 18,000 attack, also not bad. The reason that I can do that is because of those 2 attack blue runes. So he does have an epic. We'll talk about that real quick first. So it boosts his skill, which is going to boost his crit chance. It'll also boost his ability to apply debuffs, although I'm kind of not certain why he has skill as his primary there. 20% defense, 20% max health. I would honestly love to see this skill turned into attack, but and he has a 30% chance to attack 3 more random enemies, which I believe can still proc the unbreakable or the additional attacks from a warrior rune. So he could potentially do like 9 or 10 attacks. I guess he could do, well, no, he could do like easily 7 or 8. So, anywho, that's his epic. His abilities. He has insulated woolies, meaning he can't be frozen, chilled, or frostbitten. He is magical, takes less damage from non-physical attacks. He is large and in charge. Increases health for each beast ally by 30%, and attack for each ogre ally by 30%. So all of the other ogres are getting 30% more attack on a team with him. The beasts, I'm not really too worried about. And I think him being paired up with beasts before is why I was kind of like, meh. Pack tactics, boosted damage to ogres, and chance to retaliate any attack on another beast. And if you're using him with beasts, great, but I think that's old think. I think he should be paired up with ogres now. Beastly Fun. When on a team with Solaris, Snow Day generates a second charge on himself. And Snow Day is one of his active abilities. I mean, it's kind of cool, but it's not really all that big a deal. So his basic attack is he does a melee physical attack on a target and a random enemy, doing 1322. So each of those can proc extra attacks. So he could actually do about 10. I was right. Then we've got Strike, which is a melee water attack on all enemies for 34-37 base damage, reducing speed and reducing enemy crit chance to 0. So reducing speed basically makes everybody that he hits with this slow, which is nice. They go in the last phase of the turn. And this has a cooldown of 7 turns. We've got 4, and we've got 6. So Snow Day is actually one of the best abilities that he has. It's a ranged water attack on all enemies for 3,000 base damage. And it creates a Snow Day that buffs defense by 74%. And may be consumed when the charges that are on him may be consumed to modify specific abilities. And it starts powered. And I think technically other things can proc it, but either way. Yeah. So this is a big defense buff with damage, and he can use it later on. And finally, Frost Breath. It's a ranged water attack on an enemy for 4,200 base damage. The chance to apply Frostbite. Frostbite is the ability that when they use the ability, they take 20% damage. So, not too bad. And last but not least, we'll go over Kosar, and I'll do a quick refresher on Jumbo. So, Kosar, before I go over the runes, I want to show... Blah, blah, blah. So, okay. So, the reason that I've ruined him the way that I have is because of this ability. And it's called The Bigger They Are, and it increases attack by +1 for every +20 max health above the hero's base max health, up to a bonus of +2,000 bonus attack. So, with that in mind, that's why I made the choices that I did, because why not? So, I went with 2 tank runes, the ones with health. I don't use these friggin' health runes anywhere else. Kosar is the only one of like 2 heroes that actually benefits from health. And even then, it's kind of iffy. So, anyhow, yeah, lots of health, defense, and a taunt buff. Start with an Elite Festive, mostly because of the attack and all the health. Another Elite Festive with all the health and defense. And then the Unbreakable Heart rune with health, because I'm not using those on anybody else. So the stats end up coming out to about 10,000 attack, 9,000 defense, and 47,000 health. So not bad. And then, okay, his passives. He is slow by default. He has thick skin, which means he takes less damage from physical attacks, which is better than armored. Because armored, you can be vulnerable to like Therend and stuff like that. Thick skin is completely separate, and things aren't targeting thick skin. Goblin Alliance. This hero gains 10% defense and 10% max health. Each other Goblin or Ogre ally on the team, and he will jump in front of any single target attack targeting a Goblin ally. So that means that he's going to gain, on a team with all Ogres, he's going to gain 30% max health. So 30% of 46,000 is going to be another 15,000 and take him up to 60,000 max health, and it will also increase his attack then as a result by that extra 15. So he will actually get fairly beefcake. I cover all the abilities. I covered that one. Oh, okay, so Bone Rattler, melee attacks have a 100% base chance to purge a buff and provoke the target hit. So that's not bad too. He's always going to provoke people. And the bigger they are, I already talked about. And so he does not have an epic. So his basic attack is just basic. His first ability is Home Run. A ranged physical attack on all enemies for 2137 base damage that reduces the defense by 66% on all enemies hit. You're sensing a theme here. So there's going to be a lot of defense, just destruction by this guy. Pummel is 3 melee physical attacks on a target for 956 base damage with a 100% base chance to daze on a crit that starts powered. Really kind of a crap ability. And finally, Suppressing Smash is a melee physical attack for 3000 base damage, which extends all energy costs of the target's abilities on hit. And this ignores taunt. So what that means is, like, this ability here takes 4 turns. It might be 5 turns or 6 turns instead. This ability takes 3. It might be 4 or 5. And this one takes 5. It might be 6 or 7. So you can really, in a longer fight especially, you can really kind of cripple somebody's ability to follow through on attacks. And then I'm just going to go over, since I've already done a video on Jumbo, I'm just going to go over the things that matter here. So allied ogres become plants and gain growth. Enemies start the dungeon swamped, and swamped is that the next attack heals that whoever hits them. But the fact that the enemies that all ogres become plants is good because they start building up, becoming more powerful every turn. Plants also heal at the end of the round for each stack of growth, so the more they get growth, the more that they heal. So this group of abilities, and then we look at his specials. This grows all allied plants. Reduce damage enemies take. Reduce damage. And I think this one... No, this one doesn't grow plants. So at least one of these abilities grows plants. Sometimes I'll put Lily in, which means all these things are going to be a little bit less, but let's go fighting with some ogres. So this is a very respectable team. Let's see what we can do. So I'm going to put Grognog out there first, followed by Vemas. Let's do a filter on family. Go to ogres. We'll go Vemas. These two are slow, so I'm going to go Jumbo and then Kosar. So let's see how this works. Okay, so you can see right away all the heroes are plants. Kind of nice. These heroes are all swamped. I am silenced right now, but not a huge deal. Now, 3 of these guys are going to get frozen, unfortunately. So Vemas doesn't really hold up. So what I'll probably end up doing is swapping in Lily for Vemas. So now, with Grognog, I do Snow Day first. And then I do Strike. Because Snow Day is a buff for defense on your heroes, which is a big deal. This team might have been a bit tough for these guys, but I think I could put Lily and Jin, or just Lily even. Yeah, so that didn't work overly well. Most of these teams you can't go one full family anymore. I mean, you can't even really do a full family of dwarves and do very well, so... Okay, so this should be fairly straightforward. I'm going to go ahead and pull Vemas, and we're going to try a variant where I add defense or damage reduction. So this is going to be a very slow team, but it should be potentially effective. We shall see. Alright, so Snow Day, hitting that first. And Kosar's dead. Oh, no, he's not. He has so many hit points. Alright. Their defense is going to drop massively. They're all chilled. Actually, they're all chilled and frostbitten and slowed. Now they're operating at the same speed. Typically here, what I will do is I'll use his first ability because it grows plants. And I'll do home run. And then, so that Emily doesn't res, we'll do the silence. And now it's all over but the cleanup. There you go. So, granted, that team wasn't the top of the tops, but it wasn't bad either. So, let's do... Here's a fairly decent team. I'm going to replace Kosar and put in Lily to boost the plant connection here. And yeah, we'll keep Jin. That damage reduction and the silence are going to be really helpful here. That's a little bit better. Put this out here. Let's grow some plants. You really want to grow these guys early to get as much benefit from the plant synergy as possible. So you can see their plant level here, like Grognog is level 4. These guys are both level 2. So let's do a Snow Day. With his level of attack, with the right buffs too, Grognog, I've seen him one-shot teams. It's kinda sick. Let's throw the thorns. Grow plants. Let's go ahead and swamp everybody again. Now notice these guys are taking a lot of punishment right now. There's a combination of reasons for that. Oh, I hate freeze. That's why one of the reasons that I like Grognog. How is he doing friggin' to war over and over? I really hate the teams that are doing the paralyze and the freeze because it's just OP. Alright, so they're at level 8 plants. Except that he's about to die. Damn it. I mean, yeah. This is something that's a little ridiculous. Just a one-sided battle. For too long. Really much that I can do here at this point. And I lost all of my stacks of plant growth. Yeah. Those teams are obnoxious. Yeah, I do lose. Although I'm experimenting here. Oh. Basically the team I just fought. So let's see if we can go for a variation of this. So let's take Jumbo out of the equation. Let's use Vemas, who will be immune to being frozen. No, he won't be immune to being frozen. He's immune to taunt. He's a blue hero, not a green. Let's go with Ansuke. And do this. This might be a viable combo. And the next video I'm going to try to probably crank one more out tonight, is going to be the video with Hansuke in it, I think. So that will be coming here shortly. I might wait till tomorrow. So the only thing I'm kind of lacking right now is DPS. Oh, let's see. Yeah, look at how much damage that did. Let's try to kill Lily. Ooh, he's holding on with a wing and a prayer there. Alright, let's grow some plants. And see if we can't finish a couple of these guys off. Of course we can't. Yeah. Dwarves are still a little OP. Might have to take honor-bound teams against them. Oh, nice. Got my crown stuff done. So anyhow, it's really hard at the top levels. You guys might be able to make better use of them if you're in like less than 80, or you're not in Legend 1 or whatever, or don't have a real high roster power. So yeah, bear that in mind. Grognog at the very least is very useful. Jumbo can be very useful. And Vemas, Kosar, meh, not so great. But yeah, anywho, thanks for watching. Remember to join us on Discord. The link is in the description. Remember to join the public Dungeon Boss Discord so you can stay abreast of what's going on, at least outside of the channel here. Remember to hit a thumbs up or a like. I really appreciate you doing that. Subscribe if you haven't. And yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching. Have a great evening.